Welcome to Easy Eats. Today we are in the Brookside Sobeys Community Room with Sandra Ponte from Edo Japan, a new restaurant coming up this week, or opening this week in Fredericton.
Opening next week, actually, yes. We're open on the 26th.
Why did you choose that restaurant to open?
Well, we decided to open this restaurant because we saw the kind of food is fresh and it's healthy.
Okay.
So basically, we, the owners, we are parents. And we're always worried about our kids' nutrition, right?
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
assuming like all the parents here. So we are always in a rush after school, going to classes and all this. And we try to give them the best food, but it's not always available, right? And when we tried this food for the first time, we saw like, this is amazing. So we have rice, we have vegetables, we have protein, different kind of vegetables, different kind of proteins, and different sides. So we say this is a complete meal that we can offer our kids. And the price is not crazy and is affordable to everybody, you know? Yeah.
Right on. So Edo Japan, tell us about this restaurant.
Okay. Edo Japan began as a fast food restaurant in Calgary in 1979.
Okay.
It was founded by a Japanese Buddhist, Susumu Ikuta. He came to Canada during World War II. He came with his family and he became a Buddhist minister. And he was just passionate about providing this kind of healthy and fresh Japanese style food to the community. Yeah, that's how it started.
So you said this started in Calgary, which I think
Yes.
is great because, I mean, when you think Edo Japan, you would think that a Japanese restaurant would start its franchisees in Japan and then make its way to North America. How many stores do you have across the country?
We have over 200 restaurants, and we're going to be the first one in the Atlantic, Canada. So it's very exciting, yes.
That is exciting,
yes.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what you talked about, the menu and a little bit of what to offer, but what makes your Japanese restaurant different than any other Japanese restaurant that we have here in town?
It's Japanese style, very important.
Yeah.
So we keep finding ways to pleasure our guests by going to the Japanese philosophy that is kaizen, that means good change.
Okay.
That help us to become better as we serve and support our community. So it's
Well,
why we think we're better.
Perfect. And let's talk about that supporting community. Edo Japan has a relationship across the country of working with food banks, and
Absolutely.
the Greener Village is one of the food banks. So how does Edo help food banks like us?
Well, when Susumu Ikuta, he decided to open this restaurant, it was basically because he thought everybody deserves to have a fresh and affordable meal
Yes.
every day and regularly. So we need to keep that mission because he was the founder.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all of the restaurants, we always donate some part of what we get every day. Some of that is for donations. And in this case, for Greener Village in Fredericton.
Well, that's fantastic. What a nice philosophy to put into the
It's
big
amazing.
business, right?
Yes. We are very excited. So many things that we like besides the food is that mission, is to give to others.
So we talked a little bit about why you chose this franchise, but let's talk about how hard it is to become a franchisee. So if anybody who's interested in being a franchisee, not for Edo Japan, we already have one, but if, say there's different restaurants that you'd want to bring to Fredericton and say someone wanted to do that themselves, how do you go about doing something like that?
Well, I think you need to have an adventurous soul.
Okay, yeah.
And first is why we're here in this country, and we love Canada. And it's definitely a roller coaster. But it's great. When you get a franchise, you always have the directors to help you. We did the training. So it has been a really learning experience for us. So of course, it's difficult when you have done before, but once you're in it, it's an adventure.
The training,
Yes.
do you have to go all the way to Calgary to get that training?
We went to Toronto
Okay.
to do the training for 5 weeks, and we were cooking every day. We learned since the beginning, cutting mushrooms, cutting vegetables, cutting the beef, chicken, all that, and then going on the teppanyaki griddle.
Right on. So, what kind of timeline? So, how long ago did you start, or when did we start thinking about bringing Edo here? And then we have Edo happening this week. So,
Yeah.
let's talk about that timeline. When did you guys start applying for this process?
This adventure started a year ago.
Okay.
Yes. So we're a group of 4 people, and we love food. So we always get together. Okay, let's try this new restaurant, or let's try this at home. To prepare something different. So when we were traveling and we tried this, and we say this is really, really good, and we always thinking, oh, we should get more restaurants in Fredericton to have more options, And we started looking around, and here we are now, opening a new restaurant.
Well, it's fantastic. It's a new adventure.
It is.
It's opening this week, so that's super exciting. Are you ready?
I'm ready, of course.
Fantastic. What other hiccups have you kind of encountered in this whole thing? We talked about this before the show, that we were hoping to be ready because there's all kinds of what other kind of factors do you have to look out for when opening? It's not just a restaurant.
No. Of course, we have to depend on so many people, on constructions and installation. Everything that we're getting is within Canada, so a lot of the products coming from Calgary as well. So that all the contracts, traveling, we have to depend on so many people. And I guess because we are the first one in Atlantic Canada, it's like the first time, it's a learning curve for everyone involved.
Absolutely, yes.
But I think after this one, we're gonna be okay.
Fantastic. Are you planning on opening more Edo Japans, or is this the only one you guys are going to start with?
This is the first one, and the idea is to open another one. If people like it, that I'm sure they're gonna like it. And of course, why not open another one and maybe go another city in New Brunswick? Why not?
So, Edo is a different style of counter food, isn't it? When you come to, you guys are going to have a nice grill, or a teppanyaki grill in front of you. So for those who don't know, what is a teppanyaki grill, and how? Walk me through the experience. When you walk in the doors and you're about to order something, what do you see, and how do you go about ordering? Okay,
the main thing of our meal is a Japanese style teppanyaki food. Okay, so that means teppanyaki is that we have a big flat iron griddle. We are gonna divide the word teppanyaki. Teppan means a flat iron, and then yaki is griddle.
Okay.
And it's 400, so it's very, very, very hot. So of course we get everything fresh. We put our food, chicken on one side, vegetables in other. We put the sauce, then we put everything together, and then we put it on the plate.
Fantastic! Right in front of the customer as they come in.
It's right in front of the customer. Yes, if they can stand up in front, they kind of see a little bit, or they can wait until the meal is done and we take it to the table. So
essentially, like you said, food fresh, fast, and simple.
Yes.
Right in front of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we also have sushi, some kind of sushis. We are not experts in sushi, we're just offering some kind, and also bubble tea. So there is a lot of options, sides as well, like gyozas or spring rolls or tempura shrimp. And we can make bento boxes. So we have our main meal, let's say a chicken teriyaki. And if a person wants to have more, so we can offer the bento. Bento is with 2 more sides. Or we can offer a sumo size, that means half of everything more.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So fits kind of every appetite, and kind of great spot for lunch?
Absolutely, for lunch, for dinner, and for kids. I mean, like that's our main objective, is to bring kids. I know they cannot have pizza every day. It's fast, but it's not as healthy. So what about some rice, some protein, and some vegetables?
So we've talked all about the business and the entry and the teppanyaki, which is really great. Unfortunately, we don't have a teppanyaki grill in front of us, but we'll have Fernando Lopez, one of your partners, come in after this next segment and show us how to make one of your dishes.
Absolutely, that's great.
welcome back to Easy Eats. Again, we are in the Sobeys Brookside's community room, and I have Fernando Lopez, another franchisee for Edo Japan, and you're going to show us how to make one of the dishes that you guys are going to be preparing.
Yeah.
We don't have a teppanyaki grill, but we can kind of mimic it at home and stuff like that. And what's really cool, and I found out that you guys sell your own teriyaki sauce as well at the restaurant, do you?
Yeah, exactly. That is basically the most important thing about Edo Japan restaurants, and basically we are bringing that sauce, and that is the main ingredient for to do the dishes we are offering to the customers.
Perfect. So, what will you be making us today, Fernando?
Oh, we are going to do a teriyaki chicken. That is one of the most important dishes that we are going to offer to our customers.
Fantastic. So let's get started. How do we get started?
Okay, we are going to start it basically putting into cooking the chicken.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's it. And then, yeah, and at the same time, we need to put together all these delicious veggies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty simple. So
Yeah,
just basically
yeah.
just carrots, broccoli, cabbage, and mushrooms in there, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we are going to put a little bit of cabbage here with a little bit, yeah, we're going to need a little bit of this.
A little bit of oil, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit just. It's a very, very small amount. And we are going to put a lot of the cabbage here. Some broccoli. And of course, these carrots.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's okay.
So Edo Japan, is there a reason for the name?
Yeah, in the Edo Japan is the former name of the city, the capital city of Japan, Tokyo. Yeah,
Okay.
They changed that name in the 19th century.
So
Yeah.
to pay homage, the Buddhist monk decided to name it after an old
Exactly,
city.
exactly. Yeah, and but again, it's also the name of a period on Japan that was very rich about culture, about developing of technique and all that kind of stuff. That's
Okay, so
basically-
the ancient history of Japan. So to pay
Yeah.
homage to the... No, that's really cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very nice history.
Here, I'll start moving a few of these around here too. So, I noticed that we're doing this separate, so we're not doing it in the same dishes. Is there a reason why we're not grilling them
Yes,
together?
it's basically because we have raw chicken here, and we need cook that until it's done, and then at the same time you are preparing here the veggies.
So we're basically almost kind of steaming your vegetables. I noticed that you used very little oil, and we're kind of using the steam to soften everything up, are we not?
Yeah, exactly, and as you can see, that is a very healthy option.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is probably one of the most important features of our dishes. Yeah, we are trying to offer a very healthy and very delicious meal to our customers.
Fantastic. And then before the break, and we were talking to Sandra, we talked about your location up on Regent, the corner of Regent and Priestman.
Yes.
Strategically put there because you're stuck between two high schools, or was that just the space that was available for you at the time?
No, it was a very, it was a strategy behind that, basically, in order to get that specific location, because that location is a very vibrant place, you know, it's
Yeah.
a very strategic location. There is a lot of schools here, the two major high schools, basically we are in the middle of them.
Yeah.
We are very close to the New Brunswick, UMB, we are very close to the St. Thomas, we are very close to the MBCC.
And you're across the street from the hospital as well.
The hospital, and yeah, exactly, and there is another school there, it's a Prisman school is
Yeah.
there, and basically that is the idea, offer to that specific kind of customer a new alternative dish for the regular things that they are consuming, yeah, because the young people prefer pizza, hot dogs, but I'm pretty sure that as soon as they see this kind of food, they are going to love it.
Absolutely. And the price point is affordable, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Yeah,
Definitely.
of course. That's the idea. Yeah, of course. And as you can see, it's a meal that is very easy to do. I am pretty sure
Absolutely.
they are going to love it. Yeah.
Perfect. So those veggies look really nice. So you're cooking them down, but we're still keeping some crunch to it, right?
Yeah, a little bit crunchy. And again, probably the most important thing here is to get the broccoli in the proper time to serve. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That is the idea. So the next step here is you have been doing the chicken.
Yeah.
We are going to put a little bit of the Edo teriyaki sauce. That is the is the key of this meal.
It
Yeah?
is the special ingredient. Perfect.
Yeah, we have here. Let me shake it a little bit. Smells good, no?
Well, it feels fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that a little goes a long way, so you're not just drenching it in sauce, you're just using it as a flavoring, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Straight on.
That is the idea. We are going to put it here, and at the same time, let me
Absolutely,
use
there
this
you are.
one. The chicken looks very nice as well. We are going to put it a little bit of this sauce as well.
So on a big grill, they're cooked one side the other, and then they're just kind of married and put together once it's all done, right?
At some point you are going to put it together, but that is the way to do it. Yeah, we have to do first here. We are going to do the chicken there, and that is something that we have to ask to the customer, or the customer has to tell us, because some people want mushrooms, but there are a lot of people that doesn't like the mushrooms.
Oh,
yeah?
okay, so you can definitely choose if you don't want something. You can kind of custom make your order. Can't you?
Exactly. Basically, that is another important feature of our proposal, because basically, as soon as the customer go to the counter, they can personalize the meal that we are offering.
Well, that's fantastic.
That is very good. And we have a lot of options, because we are doing here chicken, but if you are a veggie person, we can do something for you.
Okay,
special.
perfect. And you can, instead of chicken, we can use beef.
Beef, shrimps, tofu.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that is very important. You know, we have a lot of options, and that is the reason why we decide to work with Edo Japan for that reason. Yeah. Because as soon as we start to see that they have many options, we said, okay, that is very good. That is very good, because we are going to be able for deliver a huge range of dishes for many people.
Well, that's fantastic. And it's smelling really nice. I wish you guys, or we could have smell-o-vision, because I mean, it's really filling the kitchen right now.
Yeah. I think that is basically done. We are going to put all these the rice is here.
Well, that's it. I got some rice made ahead of time. Now, do you serve it strictly on rice, or are there noodle options or other options that you can put your fry up on?
We have another option, because if you want the white rice, okay, but we have brown rice as well.
Okay.
We have yakisoba noodles, and we have ramen noodles. That means that you are going to have plenty of options, Chris, to eat with us.
Fantastic. No, that's great.
I think that this is basically done. If you want, I can serve it there.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Let's put that together.
Yeah.
So I noticed that you're putting it on separately instead of tossing it together. Is there a reason behind that, or is it just an aesthetic thing?
Yeah, basically you can put it together as well, but for this specific example, we are going to put it because I want that the people is able to see what every single dish in the dish. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is basically the idea. As soon as you serve this, again you can use more sauce, and that's another important feature of our meals. You can decide how many spoons of Edo Japan sauce do you want in your
So it all depends on how saucy you want your stir fry.
Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah,
fantastic.
That's
So we'll be back after this short message to try this lovely dish and talk more Edo Japan. Welcome back to Easy Eats. Again, we are in the Brookside Sobeys community room with Fernando Lopez, co-owner or co-franchisee of Edo Japan. This looks good. It smells really good. We're lucky it made it back from the break because I really wanted to dive into it. But before we get into tasting that, this is your signature dish. But let's go back. There's other things you were saying. We can add chicken. We can add beef. Can you do a combination of both?
Of course. Basically, as you were saying, this is our popular one.
Yeah.
But we can do it with beef. We can do it with shrimp. We can do it double. We can change the rice if you want. We can change it for brown rice. We can change it for yakisoba noodles or ramen noodles. You know, as soon as you go to the restaurant, you are going to see the menu, and we are able to make whatever thing for you.
So it's almost like a build-your-own stir-fry bar kind of
something
deal, right?
like that, exactly. And besides that, because again, the teppanyaki meals are the popular one. We also have sushi,
Okay. Yeah.
and bubble tea.
And bubble tea?
Yes.
Absolutely. And we were talking, or I kind of perused your menu before we sat down and talked today. And one of my favorite dishes is a poke bowl.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about your poke bowl. Is it traditional, or what can we find in it?
Yeah, basically that is originally it was a Hawaiian dish.
That's right, yeah.
But it's a new option. Edo Japan is bringing that soon. And it has kale, it has tuna, it has some vegetables, and it's a very nice, wealthy alternative for people that probably is not looking for rice in their food. Yeah, it's very nice, and we are going to bring it soon as well. That dish.
Awesome. So it's a new addition to
exactly.
the Edo Japan
Exactly.
menu. That's fantastic. So you guys are open this week for a soft open, let's just say.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how this soft open works.
Yeah, we are going to do a drive run this week. That means that every sales that we are going to do in that specific week are going to the Greener Village. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So I heard there's also a limited menu. So there's just a handful of ingredients, kind of a pay what you think. And then you said that all the proceeds are coming to us here at the Green
Yes,
Village?
it goes in that way, but we are going basically have two dishes. You know, in order for do it a little bit simple, we are going to have these same dishes with chicken, and the other one is with beef.
So limited menu, kind of to whet everyone's appetite, just to kind of get an idea of what you guys have to offer,
Exactly.
and things like that. And I think that's a fantastic idea, and even more so, I think that more people should adopt that kind of mentality to give back to the community that you're trying to be part of. I think that's fantastic, Fernando. What a great franchise to be part of. A franchise that not only thinks about the community and how to feed the community, but also how to give back to the community.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So thank you so much for being on, for you and Sandra to be on today and talk a little bit about this fantastic new restaurant. Always happy to see new restaurants and new foods coming into the city. And again, this dish looks fantastic. So let's take a bite and see how it tastes. I mean, already this smell is just fantastic. Join me, Fernando. I'm sure that you've
Of course.
I'm sure you've eaten this a few times, but wonderful. Simple, fresh. Thank you so much for being on, Fernando. Best of luck to you.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck to you and Sandra. And hopefully everyone will
Yeah, of
come
course.
out and give you guys a try.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you.